us on yet another day of wall-to-wall wall drama here in the United States. This is one of those days that there's almost too much to wrap your head around, because last night, as you probably know, the president interrupted primetime television to read a speech from the Oval Office. Grandpa gave a 10-minute address to warn us about Mexicans, as if they're a migration of killer bees swarming after us. The speech was intended, I think, to convince us that we have an immigration crisis at the border. The president, as you know, has been very anti-immigrant since the one he's married to stopped having sex with him. So this was designed to humanize him and to turn this around. It was not an inspiring speech. It looked like he was giving the speech at gunpoint, and he was stiff and he was sniffling through the whole thing. At the end of every sentence, he went, because, I don't know, maybe he forgot to take his allergy medication.
Are you suffering from congestion, itchy, stuffy nose, nasal irritation, uncontrollable, persistent sniffling? Finally, there is hope. Wallegra, the first medication formulated for border wall negotiation-related allergies. Wallegra goes to work fast, giving you lasting relief from all the paranoid border wall-related delusions clogging up your passageways. Ask your indicted campaign manager if Wallegra is right for you. In a small percentage of presidents, Wallegra may cause a sudden inability to use numbers and facts. Wallegra. Shut down the government, not your sinuses.
Available at Border Walgreens.
Oh, all right. Well, you know, it was a very drippy speech, nasal and otherwise, but Trump wasn't the only leader who came off badly last night. I don't know what goes on with these people. I don't know who's advising them, but as bad as Trump's presentation was, the rebuttal from Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi might have been worse.
Good evening. I appreciate the opportunity to speak directly to the American people tonight about how we can end this shutdown and meet the needs of the American people.
Obviously, they subscribe to Netflix, but they are some duo. They look like the trailer for Get Out 2. Two scary white people with a secret. But the main event was Trump, and he had some bigly whoppers for us. There were more lies in this speech than the last 2.5 minutes of The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel. That joke was for two people. Those two people were Simon and Garfunkel, but... Trump claimed the wall, if we build it, will pay for itself. The only person in history who ever bankrupted a casino says this wall will pay for itself. So then today, after a speech that changed exactly no one's mind, the president said, all right, now I'm going to meet with the Democrats to make the deal. And as you might expect, that did not go well. In fact, he wrote, just left the meeting with Chuck and Nancy, a total waste of time. I asked what is going to happen in 30 days if I quickly open things up. Are you going to approve border security, which includes a wall or steel barrier? Nancy said no. I said, bye-bye, nothing else works. And that, my friends, is the art of the deal. This little Trumper tantrum led to a post-meeting spin war. Republicans desperately want to pin the shutdown on Democrats, even though Donald Trump specifically said he was proud to shut the government down and claim it as his own. But so both sides rush out to cable news to give their take. And here's Senator Chuck Schumer's account of how the meeting went down.
He asked Speaker Pelosi, will you agree to my wall? She said no. And he just got up and said, then we have nothing to discuss, and he just walked out. Again, we saw a temper tantrum because he couldn't get his way, and he just walked out of the meeting.
He also claimed the president slammed the table and stormed out, but Vice President Pence, always the voice of clueless calm, presented a very different account of his boss's demeanor in the meeting.
Can you talk a little bit about, can you just categorize what the president did in the meeting? And also, are we any closer than you think to having a national emergency declared if the meetings are going like this and they're so contentious?
Well, the president walked into the room and passed out candy. It's true.
It is true. He handed out Butterfingers and M&Ms, I guess. I wonder if he hands out the brown M&Ms or he stuffs those back into the bag. I guess we'll have to ask. But the morning started with a press conference. The subject, again, was the wall. Most experts say this wall won't do anything other than cost a lot, but the president says it will, and he's pointing to other countries as proof.
Israel put up a wall, 99.9% successful, according to Bibi Netanyahu. He came into my office a couple of months ago. He said, what's with the wall? We put up a wall. It was 99.9% successful. 99.9. I said, do you mind if I use that number? He said, you know, because they'll fact check it and they'll say, oh, it was actually only 99%. The president told a fib. Now, he told me 99.9. Maybe he'll change it, make it 99. But they put up a wall and they don't have a problem anymore.
Yeah, right. They never have any problems in Israel. It's like... Here's the thing. Walls don't stop drugs from getting in. Prisons have walls. Drugs get into the prisons all the time. You know what does stop drugs from getting across the borders? The Coast Guard, customs officials, and DEA agents. The people, in other words, the people Donald Trump hasn't been paying for the last 3 weeks. Stop drug. One reporter, John Carl from ABC News, asked Trump why he doesn't just sign a bill to get these workers paid and then work on border security, and that went over well, too.
So why not sign the other bills, though, so some of these workers can get paid, the government
You
get
think I should do that?
No,
Do you think I should do that, John?
I mean, it's not for me
I
to
mean, I
say.
watch your one-sided reporting. Do you think I should do that? Hey, John. No, seriously, John, do you think I should just sign?
Well, the argument is...
Tell me.
Sign these bills that have nothing to do with
John,
border
do you
security.
think I should just sign?
I'm saying that if you sign that, these workers can start getting paid. The government can
So
start...
you would do that if you were in my position, you'd do that?
I'm not in your position. I'm asking you if that's something you
I'm
would...
asking you, would you do that if you were in my position? Because if you would do that, you should never be in this position. Because you'd never get anything done. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much.
It was a fun day. And there's no end to the shutdown in sight, unless they listen to me. And I have a plan to end this shutdown tomorrow, and it's for real. Do you want to hear it? Oh, you have no... All right, here we go. All right. I don't want to set the expectations too high, but we all know the House isn't going to authorize the money to pay for this wall. It's a waste, and it won't do anything. Even Donald Trump knows this wall doesn't make any sense. He promised it because he didn't think he was going to win. He might as well have promised us all jetpacks, okay? But he told the people who voted for him he's going to build it, and now they want it built, which is understandable. So how does he get out of this without looking like he lost? And that's very simple. We pretend to build a wall. Hear me out. Trump doesn't care about the wall. Trump cares so little about this wall, he might as well start calling it Eric, okay? So let the president allow him to tell the Red Hat Club that the wall is approved. Tell him it's going up. Tell him we found a pot of gold on the Tijuana border and we're using that money to build it. There's no reason to be honest. If Trump tells his Trumpers the wall is being built, they will believe the wall is being built. You think they're going to go down to the border and check? They're not going to do that, okay? Just drive a bunch of dump trucks past the White House, plastered with signs that say, going south. And you take a picture of him in a hard hat, he can cut the ribbon, he can break ground, a group of actors can come in and start digging. He's happy, we're happy, shutdown's over, everyone can go back to work, you're welcome. And then maybe, just maybe, at the end of all this, Donald Trump will realize that the wall he thought he wanted so desperately was inside him the whole time. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, click the subscribe button. And if you didn't like it, well, you hurt my feelings.